Kia ora, and welcome everyone to today's Vax Pop. My name is Maddie Holland and I'm the Partnerships and Relationships Manager at The Circle. I would like to acknowledge the original custodians of Australia and pay our respects to the elders, past, present and future, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture and hopes of Indigenous Australia. Over the next few weeks, The Circle will be featuring our top Australian and New Zealand business leaders supporting the vaccine rollout in our Vax Pop series, Let's Get On With the Jab. In our Vax Pop today, we are honoured to hear from Michael Schneider, Managing Director at Bunnings Group. A reminder that we are on the record and we welcome the media today. We will share the recording on our YouTube channel following the event, and feel free to share your thoughts with our hashtag VaxPop. I will now pass over to our moderator for today, Sharon Lloyd, General Manager in New Zealand, here at The Circle to get the conversation started. We really hope you enjoy today's session.
Thank you, Maddie, and kia ora, everybody. I'm delighted to be here with you, Michael, and thank you so much for your time to be here with us today. Now, I want to start by really acknowledging that Bunnings has been leading the way in supporting the communities in which you operate by your on-ground support of the vaccination rollout. You've hosted hubs across Australia and the Auckland region here in New Zealand, which I can personally attest to having been at the Silverdale Bunnings just this Monday for my second vax. So easy with your drive-through hub and the friendly Bunnings team directing me on arrival. And I noticed that this initiative was also recognised by the New Zealand Director of Public Health at one of the recent daily updates. So congratulations to you and the team. You're of course known for your community involvement. So how has your team been getting behind the community vaccination rollout?
Well, firstly, kia ora and hi everyone. Great to be with you today and thanks for the opportunity. Bunnings, has always had a very strong community mindset. We've always had this idea of taking our stores out into our communities and our communities, coming into our stores. And, we see that in schools and playgrounds and RSLs and sporting groups all around Australia and New Zealand with their red shirts out doing lots of things. And we see that, come to life through the barbecues and all the activities that we do in our stores as well. So for us, supporting the community in this drive to get as many people in our communities vaccinated as we could, it was really a no-brainer to sort of think about it. And it builds on the contributions we were able to make last year in many locations here in Australia, where we were able to have mobile testing clinics as well. So the mobile vaccination clinics are a build on something that we knew would work. The unique nature of our warehouses and our trade centres, is that they are large buildings. They're almost the outdoors, indoors, if you like, given the high ceilings and everything else, which is why they've been such a safe place to shop during the pandemic. But the big car parks mean that for, pop-up clinics, they work really well. I think we're up to about 13 or 14 hubs now. We've got a newest hub to go live in Alice Springs in the centre of Australia this weekend. We've been working with the Western Australian Health Authorities for a centre in Albany in the south of Western Australia. We've got a pop-up clinic in Bundaberg in Queensland. We've given over one of our old warehouses here in Melbourne for a drive-through that actually drives through the Bunnings building, so a little bit different to your experience at Silverdale. Blenheim, I think, is the next one for us in New Zealand, which will be fantastic. And I think this week we've topped 65,000 people getting their shot at Bunnings. Some of those are our team members, some are from sister companies in the Wesfarmers Group, and a real focus on trade and construction workers as well, because we know for so many of them, they're very mobile, so they're moving around the community, and that's something that lockdowns and restrictions are designed to sort of stop, is limiting movement. So helping that part of the community has been important. And then the more broader part of the community, as you've experienced at Silverdale, Sharon.
65,000 is amazing. Congratulations. And just so easy to go to. So it's brilliant. What's your advice for other organisations thinking about hosting hubs like this? What are the learnings?
I think first and foremost is having the right partnership. So that's the right partnership with the appropriate health authorities. So in Australia, that is, a variety of different state jurisdictions and even localised health authorities. And I know that's quite similar for our experience in New Zealand. So firstly, it's that good partnership. Secondly, it's having partners, and so many businesses already offer, regular flu vaccines. For Bunnings team members, for certainly as long as I can remember at Bunnings, we've offered, a free flu shot every year, and we do those in our stores, we do them in our support centres. So we've got good allied health partners that we can partner with. And then it's about making sure that you've got ready access to vaccine. I think in New Zealand, you're running pretty much with the Pfizer. We've obviously got a mix of Pfizer, AstraZeneca and Moderna in Australia. So there's a clear preference for a variety of reasons for Pfizer and for Moderna. But once we've been able to access through those partners, access to those vaccines. We've really seen the numbers come up, and now it's about access to the vaccine. And I think for employers, many of them will be surprised, if they just stopped and reflected on the fact that they've already got this well-worn path of flu shots and how they partner. Just activating that, but activating it with the COVID vaccines, I think would be a great way to accelerate, vaccination even more into the community.
Yeah, brilliant. So talking more about your team, how are you engaging them on the topic of vaccinations?
Yeah, it's a really important conversation, I think, to be having. And, obviously it's been had in lots of different ways. We're doing it, publicly through paid advertising and really helping educate our team and the community about our support for that. Internally, we run Workplace, which is the Facebook enterprise social media platform. We've got over 40,000 of our team connected to that. So we've run live stream events, we've put information up, we've had conversation with the team, we've been sharing our vaccination stories, we've been sharing pictures of us getting vaccinated or our certificates to really encourage that. We've had some pretty honest debate amongst some of our team, because there's clearly some hesitancy and concern, not only in the wider community, but we see that come to life. When you employ close to 50,000 team members as we do, it's pretty representative of the community at large across Australia and New Zealand. So we've had some differing opinions, and we've really encouraged our team, if they've got any doubts, to go and speak to their GP. Don't consult Dr. Google, but go and speak to a fully qualified doctor and get the right opinion. And then we've backed that up with time off. So we've got 6 hours paid leave for our team members to go and access vaccine. If they need more time, we've got their back on that. So if they have a reaction to the vaccine or they've had to travel further to get vaccinated, we're very flexible around that, as we've been right throughout the pandemic, in terms of making sure that our team members are cared for. The health and well-being of our team is at the heart of everything we do. And, hotly on the heels of that is following the government advice. So, making availability both in time and with financial support for teams been really important. And we're seeing a fantastic take-up rate right across our business.
Brilliant. And just further to that, and looking after your team and managing them, team welfare has always been a huge focus for Bunnings, which we applaud you for. So how is the team 18 months on into a pandemic?
Yeah, it's mixed, to be honest. I'm here in Melbourne, where, unfortunately now, the world record holder for the longest lockdown in the world. But, you're always trying to sort of look for the glass half full part of it. I think for our Melbourne team, there's a degree of fatigue. There's no doubt about that. Our support office team, educating kids from home, holding down busy jobs. We're trying to drive our strong strategic agenda and take the business forward. We've carved out specific teams to help us deal particularly with the pandemic, because we've got probably 12 or 13 different settings in our business at the moment. In New Zealand, you've got some level 3, you've got some level 2, we've got different restrictions in metropolitan Melbourne to regional Victoria to metropolitan Sydney. Parts of Queensland are different to other parts of Queensland, and so on and such forth. So for teams in places that have been lightly affected by the pandemic, so in Australia, that's jurisdictions like Western Australia and the Northern Territory, we're dealing with team members who have family and friends they can't go and see, and the stress that creates, and they're quite isolated and remote. And then for teams that have been locked down, it's how do we keep them energized during this really challenging time. And we've got lots of different things. We've done competitions and challenges, and we've engaged with speakers. We've had I know we had one of the Paralympians in New Zealand speak to our New Zealand team. We had a couple of Olympians in Australia speak to a team here in Australia. We've had live concerts. We even had Jimmy Barnes one Saturday night do a live stream for our team, just to sort of put a smile on everyone's face. So it's striking that balance, and I think really trying to drive the optimistic message that we're racing towards vaccination rates that allow big parts of our country to open up. Excitingly, our international borders will finally open, and I think for business, it's important, because we need to be, we're retailers, we need to travel the world, scour for product, meet with our counterparts globally, and, also just get team moving between Australia and New Zealand, because, we've got so many amazing team members working in New Zealand, close to 5,000, and the rest of the team back here in Australia. And we need that movement between the two for, career development and growth. So yeah, it's all about positive messaging, but, the resilience muscles have certainly been given a workout, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely feel for you there in Melbourne, and we've got a taste of it here in Auckland, and it makes us, understand even more. I love that. I haven't heard of a live concert. Go Jimmy Barnes. It's a great initiative.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's great. And then turning to your customers, given all that you've just described in different lockdowns and states and countries, you obviously haven't stood still during COVID. So how have you changed the way you serve your customers through the pandemic?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been a period of rapid acceleration for particularly our digital agenda, but also our physical environment as well. We've not stood still on driving the things that are important in terms of accelerating the way we grow and connect with our trade and commercial customers. We're starting to think about different layouts in our stores that group products together in different ways that help ease of shop and showcase different products. We've had to introduce physical distancing measures and then sometimes take them out as restrictions ease. So for example, in Melbourne at the moment, our trade customers can access our stores and physically shop as they can in Auckland at the moment. But for other customers, it's all contactless. So the development of our drive and collect model has been really important. We've developed a product finder app, and the product finder app allows you to sort of get in and get out of our stores more quickly, which is something that in normal times, we want you to come and get lost and spend as many hours as you like in a Bunnings and bring your whole family and pets as well. But, it is important to us at the moment that we support what governments are asking, which is people aren't spending a lot of time out. We can actually activate timers now on our product finder app. So in, jurisdictions where there are, stricter restrictions such as Sydney or Melbourne, we can actually activate that so that customers know how long they've been in the store so that they can actually manage that amount of time. Interestingly, as we wind the restrictions back, there's a re-education for our team. You take off the face mask instead of, giving yourself a lot of distance between people. We want to get back to the customer service that, Bunnings is known and respected for. And that's a process of encouragement gently with our team to get that back and bring all the things back that we love, the barbecues, the activities in our stores, the community activities that, we touched on right at the start of our conversation today. So, it's a constantly moving feast, and the team are doing an amazing job at pivoting and responding as they need to, because often restrictions come on very, very quickly, as you saw in Auckland recently, and we've seen in Melbourne. They can be put in place in a matter of hours. We need to turn our business around and be ready to go so that we can support not only our team but our customers in our community as well.
Yeah, brilliant initiatives. I like the timer on the app. That's a great idea. You've mentioned Blenheim and some of the other initiatives, but can you share more with us about some of the activity you have planned coming up in Australia and anything else for New Zealand, I guess?
Yeah, look, we're really excited, to be continuing to sort of, evolve our networks across Australia and New Zealand. Westgate opening in New Zealand, I got the chance to, when the bubble was open earlier this year, to get across and see that team. I've not been lucky enough to get to Queenstown and see the team there, but I know the store's doing very, very well. We've got our Invercargill Trade Centre, which will be the southernmost Bunnings outlet anywhere in the world when it opens in the next little while. And same in Australia, we've got a number of sites under construction. As I said before, a lot of focus on the continued improvement and innovation of our websites. We launched our new retail website in Australia and New Zealand earlier this year. Our trade website is ready to go. We just haven't activated that because of the sort of numbers of transactions we're seeing on our consumer side at the moment because of the lockdowns in Australia and New Zealand. So that's queued up, ready to go. And that's a really exciting innovation. We're trialing a rapid fulfillment centre here in Melbourne, which is all about, quick pick, pack and delivery of online products for customers, which improves the customer experience. At the moment, right around the world, supply chains, whether it's shipping or air freight or to your door, supply chain is all under pressure because of the volumes going through. So anything we can do to improve the customer experience is good. It also keeps our feet to the fire and our low cost focus, because as a everyday low price retailer with a policy of lowest prices, you've got to have the lowest costs to be able to deliver that. And the RFC is giving us some really good insights. So we continue to drive forward. Lots of innovation in technology behind the scenes. It's a little bit like a home renovation, if you like, Sharon. The things that we're doing now, no one's ever going to see. It's the pipes and the wiring behind the wall that's getting done that allows us when we finish the home for it to operate the way we want it and to look really good as well. So plenty happening from a Bunnings point of view.
Absolutely. You have not stood still at all. Now, what about you, Michael? We always love to hear about the person. What are you most looking forward to when Melbourne opens up and borders open up? Maybe we'll get you here for a Bunnings NPC game.
Yeah, look, I can't wait to get back to New Zealand. I have a really, really soft spot for New Zealand. As a citizen of both countries, Mum and my uncle and their family were from Pukekohe. They were dairy farmers way back when Pukekohe was still a country town. It's anything but. These days, it's amazing the growth in that part of New Zealand. But it'll be fantastic to be back with the team. Really looking forward to getting out into the world, not only from a leisure point of view, but a business point of view, so that we're connecting with colleagues, we're connecting with our suppliers, we're connecting with the stakeholders who are, really important to our business. But it's also about seeing loved ones. I've got family and friends in Sydney. I'm from Sydney originally, so it'll be great to get back and share time and spend time with them and reconnect. And really, it's going to be just some of the basic things. Getting into the office, going to see our suppliers, going out with family and friends. And I think we're all very social creatures at the end of the day, and I think we're all craving that interaction. And it is one of the things that is often talked about and is a reality, is the mental strain that extended lockdowns are having, not only on the communities that are being locked down, but the communities that are sort of sitting by and watching those. Because as I said before, you can't get in and see the people that you love, and the people you love are locked out and kept away. And I really I'm hopeful that the commitments that governments are making to opening up are honoured. And that we continue to move forward, because I think as a society, we need to find out what life on the other side of this looks like with consistent forward momentum, and not the sort of opening and closing, which I think causes an enormous amount of pressure and anxiety, not only on business, but the community at large.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's all about the people. Before I hand over to Tanya, it's been an absolute pleasure to spend 20 minutes with you. Thank you for your time, and congratulations again on finding so many practical ways to help the communities that you work in, and supporting your team to get vaccinated, and mental health, of course, as well as a priority. I'll now hand over to our CEO, Tanya Oziel, to formally thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thanks, Sharon, and thank you, Michael. Such an incredible part you play in the community, and I think Sharon hit the nail on the head by saying what a big part of the family you are for people around Australia and New Zealand, all needing to connect, and Bunnings really does bring people together. So what you're doing with the vaccination rollout is fabulous. We applaud you. Thank you for being such a leader in this space. We need your voices louder. We need to keep getting that positive message across, that borders will open and life will get back to normal once we're vaccinated. So thank you for doing what you're doing. On behalf of Johnny, myself, Sharon, and the entire team, it's been a pleasure having you. And on that note, I will hand over to you, Michael, to have the last word. Thank you again.
Thanks so much, Tanya, and thanks, Sharon, for the opportunity for the conversation. Time's certainly flown. We love being a part of the Trans-Tasman Business Circle. It's such an important partnership for us, because as a business that operates very much in the core of the Australian and New Zealand retail landscapes, the partnership is a really important one. And from a Bunnings point of view, we're grateful for the opportunities we get every day to be chosen by customers to serve them for the things that they need for their home or their small business. But we are also very much here to sort of support the community any way we can. And vaccination at the moment is a topic of the day, and really making sure that we can encourage everyone who can get vaccinated to get vaccinated. And if you've got doubts and concerns, that's cool. That's a normal part of life, but please do go and get the proper advice to meet your particular needs, and so that you can have the confidence to get the jab and get on with things. So thanks again, Tanya, for the opportunity, and bye for now.
Brilliant. Thanks, and have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Go the jab. Thank you.